Hey everyone, this is your boy Marcus Norman of Gentleman Style Podcast Show. Today, you all are in for a treat. I have been looking forward to this interview for the past several weeks, actually. This woman is a movement. She is a movement and she is taking the world by storm. And she is changing the world and she's changing the industry and looking after what's most important: women, African Americans, our LGBTQ community, and she is a force to be reckoned with. You all won't want to miss 1 second of this powerhouse speaker that I'm bringing to the stage. I know you're going to love her. I've already fallen in love with everything she's doing. Stay tuned. Here we go. Hey everybody, welcome to the Gentleman Style Podcast Show. Today we have the incredible Miss Teresa Morcho, an activist, speaker, entrepreneur, influencer, and producer. And she is here on the Gentleman Style Podcast Show. Miss Teresa is standing out and she's moving mountains for, like I just told you, African Americans, women, and the LGBTQ community. Miss Teresa's body of work is bold, unrelentless, and unforgivable and memorable. She's made a lasting impression in so many different lives. She's an author, producer, everything under the sun. This woman, you'll see her cape when she comes onto the stage here. I cannot talk about this woman enough. She immigrated from Cameroon and currently resides in Atlanta, Georgia. And one of her big projects that you all probably recognize her for is the Stud Model project that she has been building and growing, and it is incredible. So help me welcome to the stage the incredible, the amazing Miss Teresa Morcho.
Hello. Slight correction. My last name is Morcho. It's Morcho. No worries. It's okay. I get it all the time. It's okay. Hello, everyone. Hello. Made it sound sexy, though. Yeah, it's sexy.
I made it French.
It's actually Portuguese, and where I'm from, it's bilingual English and French. So you're forgiven for sure.
Thank you. Queen, I gotta ask the question: what successful people have successful things that they do day in and day out? What's one thing that you do every single day that really sets the tone for the rest of your day, and you have to do it no matter what? It really gets you aligned with the universe and really aligns everything for you. What is that one thing that you do every day?
Oh man. So there are a lot of videos on YouTube that people listen to, inspirational videos. Oprah is such a, oh my God, I adore Oprah because she's unstoppable. So I listen to Oprah a lot. I listen to Will Smith a lot. I listen to a lot of people who drive the message of making sure that you tap into the God in you. And so I listen to that a lot every morning, at least anywhere between 15 minutes. If I'm brushing my teeth, taking a shower, making some coffee, it's just playing. So that is something that has been religious in my day-to-day basis every day.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And you have been, something that most people may not know about you is you also code. You've been a coder since forever, right?
Yeah.
What is it that fascinated you? What sparked the interest in you to do coding? That you've been doing it since the MySpace days. Some of you may not know what MySpace is, but for us,
oh, you're telling my age.
You look good. You look fantabulous.
Oh, why? Thank you. Yeah, I've been coding since, oh my, MySpace, Black Planet, AOL days when the ding and you had to like hurry up and get off the phone because don't judge me. But
Never.
yeah, MySpace and Black Planet. A lot of my friends or people that I would meet would say, "Hey, can you create a page for me?" And because I had all like these stars falling from my page and all these crazy things going on in my page, I was never regular. So people would be like, "Hey, how do you do that?" And I found a backdoor into Black Planet and MySpace where you can tap into the HTML code. So I taught myself really. I just started looking at it and I would say, okay, this says if I play with this number and I play with this color and I play with this, and it would change my page. So the more I did it, the more I knew what code did what. And I just kept doing it over and over. And the more I did it, I started to learn HTML, which is the document form of coding. And then I started to tap into CSS, which is cascading style sheets. And that is the look and feel of everything that tells you the color, all of that. And then I went a step further. I was like, okay, if I can do that, I can do JavaScript. And JavaScript is the programming of it all. And I was like, okay, JavaScript, if I can do that, I can do jQuery, which people don't do anymore. And jQuery was more like, if this happens, this happens. If this happens, this happens. And I taught myself all of it. So when I went into the military, I just kind of fell into IT and it just meshed, so to speak.
And that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. It made sense.
and that's not easy. That's
It's
not
not.
easy.
It's not. Because no one around me was doing that. No one that I knew or saw was coding or um, no one was doing it that I knew. So I didn't have anyone reference and we didn't have, YouTubes and Google and to look up stuff. So I was on my own. And I'm always someone who likes to tinker. I like to tinker with technology. I like to learn new things about technology. I'm fascinated by technology and just where we can go with it. And so I was always in front of the computer, like just trying to tinker. And I would break computers, I would fix them, I would break them, I would fix them. And I would I was the child that would open up the VCR and try to like figure it out and then put it back together. So I always tinkered with stuff just to see how it worked. So when computers came about, like I literally, y'all that are listening do not understand how easy y'all have it with computers, okay? I used to do the C double colon backslash backslash 32 win just to get into Windows. That
Oh,
was, yeah, it's a
that
long
sounds
time
like a
ago.
cheat. That sounds like a cheat code.
But that's how we got into Windows. And it was just, yeah, so I've always just loved computers, loved technology, and just love the fact that I can build a world by myself, so to speak.
True.
Yeah.
And I wanted to. I didn't want to glimpse over this, but I want to say thank you for your service. You mentioned that you are a veteran. You're a veteran, Army veteran by
Yeah.
chance, and I
Yeah.
want to say thank you for serving our country.
Huh? Huh? Absolutely.
That is not easy. How you and speaking of your army service, the culmination, you do so many things. You're an activist, influencer, a speaker, author, you name it.
Yeah.
How has any of this, how has your coding experience, how has your army experience, how has that pushed you into the woman you are today?
So backstory, the military wasn't actually my first choice.
Mm.
When I graduated high school, I wanted to be a fashion designer. That was what I wanted to do. I was artistic. My dad put me in all these art courses, college courses, and I wanted to be a fashion designer. But the world has a funny way of redirecting you. So,
True.
I was home. I found myself actually homeless at 17. I left my home. My mom was not very appreciative of my sexuality. So she was like, you're not doing that in my home. You gotta go. So I was called the bag lady. I was like out in the metros in DC with like, those plastic bags that people take to the laundromat. I had like two of those with all my stuff in it. And I was just like, I don't know what to do. For 2 weeks, I lived on the train stations. So I actually found myself in the strip clubs. So that's a whole nother story. So I danced from when I was 18 until I was 21 years old in DC. And I found out my dad had prostate cancer when I was 21 years old, or 20 or 21 years old. And that's when I moved home. And I knew that he wasn't going to make it. Like, I knew he was not going to be around for a long time. So I was like, okay, I got to do something, and I got to do something quick. Like, I can't have this guy pass away. Like, he's my hero. And I can't have him pass away and I'm twirling somebody's pole. Like, that's not what he brought us to the United States to do. So I went to the recruiting office and I was like, sign me up. I got to go somewhere. And I was like, Dad, I need you to promise that you are going to see me graduate. And 2 weeks into basic training, I lost my father to prostate cancer. And I
No.
dedicated my entire military career to that man. Like, when I came back, I was a beast to be reckoned with. I was PT stud. I was, you couldn't touch me. I was like, I'm going to be the best soldier I can possibly be. And I dedicated my entire military career to him until I was injured and I could get out. So I did roughly 5, 6 years in the military. And I was injured during an airborne exercise and I had to get out. So yeah, my military career was actually not my first choice. It's just weird how the world happens. And, I found myself having to make a decision that would make my dad proud before he passed away. So my military career has taught me that sometimes you have to pivot. And when that opportunity comes around to pivot, do it and have a why, have a reason why you're doing it. Because if you don't have a why, you will stray every time, every time. So my dad was my why.
I love that. Thank you, Dad. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, phenomenal man, phenomenal man.
Thank you for that. And again, these are things that hit home. Everybody has a why. Everybody has a reason for their being and what you do. So thank
Yeah,
you, Dad. Thank you
yeah,
for what you do. I told y'all, a phenomenal woman. What are you're I've touched on this earlier. You're an activist in several different communities. You're known throughout the world. For me, when I found you, I was like, who is this woman? And so I had to find out more. And as I learned, you stand out. You're a big advocate for women's rights, equal rights, African Americans, and LGBTQ.
yeah.
What propelled that? What inspired that movement in you?
So this is there's so many intersectionalities to that I can't even begin to. It's a long story. So when I moved to the United States, I moved when I was about 11 years old, I think. Yeah, I was 11. And I was bullied. I was bullied so bad. And a lot of my bullying actually came from African Americans, believe it or not. And I didn't understand it as another Black girl. I couldn't understand it. And growing up in Cameroon, we didn't really learn about slavery. We didn't really learn about the struggles of Black America here. So I didn't understand where the um,
The
the
hate.
friction and the hate was coming from. I was just like, I don't get it. Like, I'm you, you are me. Like, where's this coming from? So as I started to grow older, and it wasn't until actually my strip club days that I started to mingle with, because growing up in high school, I grew up in Montgomery County, and Montgomery County is very diverse. Like, my friend groups was like the United Nations. Like, we had everyone from Sierra Leone, from Korea, from I had one Black American friend in my friend group who happens to be my best friend till today. So all we were from all over Trinidad, all over. So I there was a lot of things that I still was not privy to, even growing up, in high school here in the United States. I had one semester of African American history, one. And of course, we all know it talked about Martin Luther King, and slavery is over now. We have civil rights and all of that. So it didn't give me the opportunity to really understand our relationship with each other. It wasn't until I actually went into the strip club, went into the military, and I started to meet older people who talked to me. And I had this belief, and I'm almost embarrassed to say it, but I had this belief that was like, Black Americans just hate us. Like, what is going on? Like, what is this friction that we're having? So it wasn't until I learned that, believe it or not, my privilege of coming to the United States and enjoying the little bit of freedom that I have is because of the fight that other Black Americans had to endure during civil rights and during the history that we are currently still unfortunately having to encounter today.
True.
And I had to really sit on that. I had to really sit on that. I had to look at the systems. I had to look at, our legal systems. I had to look at our politics. I had to look at all of these things, our school, our educational systems. I had to really peel it back. And I had to admit my own privilege, like coming from a country that I had no glass ceiling other than the fact that I was female. And, I had no, like, I could be whatever I wanted to be. There was no restriction as to because of my color. And I had to admit that to myself first. And then I had to understand that I'm in a country where I am benefiting from a privilege of Black bodies that I never took the time to understand. So I had to take a step back on that. So my fight really is because I know that I benefit from a system that has oppressed people who look like me, people who, come from places that I originate. I'm 100% Cameroonian. I did my DNA, and I am 100% Cameroonian. A lot of Black people can't say that in this country, and that in itself for me is a privilege as well. So I have to first of all admit that to myself, and I have to advocate for those who don't even know what that privilege feels like. And then me being gay, I know that it's illegal for me to exist in my country. I can die for that. So
Really?
yeah, it's illegal. So I'm in a country where I can freely be myself. How dare I sit in this position and not speak up? How dare I be in this position, not have a voice, and not be there for the people who can't speak, who can't, it's just, yeah, it is the tax that I pay.
Yeah. Yes. My hero. Do you all see why she's my hero? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I had no idea that you could literally die for your life decisions. Just being a female.
Yeah,
You hear about it. You hear about how women are put down and kept down, but never to the point of death. Oh my gosh.
yeah. Just being a gay person in my country is it's a whole nother conversation. And I wish that I can go back and do something different, but we have a war that's going on right now that is unfortunately part of colon. I can never say this word because my accent takes control of me. Colonization has completely controlled French and English. So we're split apart from Anglophones and Francophones and policies. And the president that has been a president in my country since 1982, and he's old as dirt. Like, I'm trying to figure out how he's even still running this country because I know there's no senile bone in his body. There's no possibility for that. So it's a dictatorship country. It's a beautiful country. Amazing people come from it. I mean, we just saw the UFC fight. And so some amazing things are happening, but unfortunately, the politics and the government is so corrupt. And yeah, people can't live freely in that place.
Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're
Yeah.
here, and I'm glad you're safe. We have one quick commercial break. We're gonna pay the bills, y'all. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Stay tuned with us. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for a reliable professional trucking and logistics service, you've come to the right place. Musa Trucking is a veteran-owned and operated premier transportation provider that can help with all of your trucking and logistics needs. Musa is revolutionizing the trucking industry through strategic partnerships, the development of core personnel, and the use of cutting-edge technology. Our inventory system ensures that cargo ends up divided into the right trucks and reaching the correct destination. Our drivers are dedicated to transporting goods efficiently and safely. Contact us today to get started by visiting the website on the screen or by calling 757-756-5246.
We are back, and we have the incredible Miss Morcho, and she
Morcho,
is
yeah.
perfect. And she is leading the way, and she's educating us on where she comes from. She's an Army veteran, activist for so many different communities, African Americans, women, LGBTQ, and how she came over here. And right now in Cameroon, there's a war going on, and she could actually be killed for her beliefs and her values. And so, if you missed that, go back, check that out. You can only get this here if you connect with her or on the Gentleman Style Podcast show today. Miss Morcho, what
Mhm.
can we do? Because you're an activist and you're a big voice and you're a big player for so many different communities. What can we do to help make a difference and to help stand up for equal opportunity and equal rights for many of the organizations that you stand for? What can we do to help?
You know, it's a broad question, and simply
I'm sorry.
because I am no, it's fine. It's fine. I don't believe in allyship. I just don't think that is a thing. I think that we need accomplices. Period. Um, I don't want you to stand on the outside and say, "Yeah, give her freedom." I need you to be beside me. I need you to be beside me. I need you to be in the fight with me. So it's crazy when I hear people like, I'm an LGBTQ ally. What does that mean to you? Does that just mean that you have a gay son, so you love him? Does that mean that you practice love in your heart for all gay people? Or does that mean you actively correct your friends, you actively correct your families, actively entertain the fact that you're going into gay prides and you want to learn the things that we need to do in order to live an equal life? Are you actively looking up policies for women, for gay people, for black people, and wanting to make an effort to change that? Is the action in your voice? That's what I mean by ally. Is just, for me, it's an emotion. It's like, oh, I emotionally feel good about being by your side or saying that I am by your side. But are you really by my side? Are you really fighting the fight with me? So I just tell people, really think about that. Think about an accomplice versus an ally. Think about ways that you can put action to your words. Think about ways that you can the people actually, and because we as gay people can do but so much, we as black people can do but so much, we as women can do but so much. Um, Women can't fight misogyny. Black people can't fight racism. You know, gay people can't fight, bigotry. We just can't. We can do what we can, but the people who really need the change are the people that are sitting on the outside. So we need you to be our accomplice, not our ally.
Mm, mm. Wow. what inspired you? Are a movement, and you're the founder and creator of the Stud Model Project. What
Yeah.
inspired that?
So I don't know if everyone knows who Raven Simone is, I think.
Is that that's
Um,
so Raven? That's so Raven.
yeah, yeah. So Raven Simone has her ex-girlfriend is Asmarie Livingston. Asmarie Livingston used to be a model on America's Next Top Model. And I remember this day like it was yesterday. It was 2012, and I'm sitting in my house. I'm cleaning, and I'm watching an episode of America's Next Top Model. And Asmarie is a very androgynous model. She's very tall, but she's on the tomboy side, more on the masculine side. And at this point, I came out of the closet in the 10th grade. Like, I went to prom in a tux. I was very rebellious about my sexuality in high
You look
school.
good in that tux. I saw that tux.
Thank you. That was like a statement piece. And I was just like, I'm not going in a dress because I just didn't feel feminine. I'm gonna go in tux. And I had a cane and a hat and top hat, and I had my best friend in my arm and my other friend on my arm. I felt like a whole pimp, but that's all the story. So I was watching Asmarie Livingston, and they were like, you're too hard, you're too soften up, soften yourself. And I was just like, what? No, put her in a suit. I was like, put her in a suit. Put her in something that will literally make her confident, boost her confidence level through the roof, and you will see how well she models if you put her in the right clothes. But I just think that no one really knew what to do with that at that time, and they just kept telling her to be more feminine, and it drove me nuts. I literally was about to throw my broom at my TV. I was like, put her in a tux. And so I just kept sitting there, and I was just like, all right, so something needs to happen, something needs to be different. And so around that time as well, I used to host events and host parties in Fayetteville, North Carolina, because I was in Fort Bragg. So I would host parties where I would bring stud entertainers. As we all know, everyone knows male reviews, but no one has ever really talked about stud reviews. Y'all are missing out. So we used to bring stud dancers to Fayetteville. And so I was known for this. And all up and down, people were like, okay, studs. And so I was like, okay, let's do a little shift and do modeling and see what happens. And I was like, okay, this is a thing. People started coming to my events dressed, like decked out, ready to take pictures because they knew I had my camera and they were ready. And on top of that, I couldn't find images to put on my flyers. I have events, but I would Google all these like masculine images, and I would see a lot of white studs or white butch really. And it just didn't fit the aesthetic of my events. I was like, okay, this doesn't look like anybody in my events. So I need to take the pictures at this point. I was like, okay. So between Asmarie Livingston, me not being able to find images to promote my events with, and me being surrounded by studs that I was like, bitch, you are bad. Like, I don't know why you're not in front of a magazine. I was like, okay, there's an opportunity here. So I created actually Gay America's Next Stud Model, but it was so close to America's Next Top Model that I was like, no, let me do my own thing. Because I was trying to gain their attention. I was trying to say, hey, Tyra Banks, look over here. You can do something with this group of people. But it was too early, and I just think, people didn't know what to do. So I said, all right, I got the camera. I'm not a photographer, but I can learn. If I can teach myself coding, I can learn. So I bought myself a camera set, professional camera, and it was history from there. It was history.
I told y'all, phenomenal. and the pictures, y'all, if you go check out her website and you go check out her Facebook page, they look incredible. She does incredible work, and I was sitting here, I was like, these are professional photos. And now that you said it, you see, spilling the tea. Now that you said it, You're doing this work, and you and your team are doing incredible work. And again, you
Yeah.
are a force to be reckoned with.
I do have to
Absolutely.
give credit to my I made it big now, y'all. I got a photographer. So I volume 1 and volume 2, I did all the photography. I traveled from Miami to New York to California. I did everything. Did their makeup, helped them style. I did it all. But, you know, you grow and you like, you can't do this by yourself anymore. So I hired a photographer. His name is Antoine Dwayne. He has an amazing, he's here in Atlanta. If anybody is looking for a photographer, listen, don't steal him from me, but you can borrow him. He's an amazing photographer. Yeah, I tag him in most of the photos. So you guys go check him out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Check him out. We have one more quick commercial break, you guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned for this powerhouse woman. We'll be right back. Good day, podcast listeners. This is your boy, Marcus Norman of Gentleman Style Podcast Show. I wanted to let you guys know that we will be rolling out a new feature and adding a join sponsor button next to the subscriber button here at the bottom of your screen. Once you click the button, it will display 3 membership levels. Gentleman Gentry, which is our entry level, Duke Duchess, which is our season level, and the Emperor and Empress, which is our most sophisticated level, which you will receive unique perks and benefits at each differing level and gain access to our community tab. We will also be sharing polls, upcoming events, and interviews, as well as receive feedback from our sponsors directly. Your support helps me find new and exciting guests to bring to the stage live. Well, in order to get the higher end speakers, it requires, well, some, you guessed it, money. So thank you for tuning in to my channel. And if becoming a sponsor sounds good to you, then select the join button below and choose your desired sponsor level. Let's continue to grow and serve the future of generations of men and women to come. Love you guys. Bye. We are back. We have the incredible, the amazing, super fragilistic, expialidocious Miss Morcho. And she just broke it down. She spilled the tea on the Stud Model Project. And I wanted to close out this piece. What is the goal? Where do you see your project going from here? You've done the work, you've done the grind, and now you have a photographer, right? We're on the come up. What's the goal? Where do you see next? What's next?
So I have a 5-5-5 goal, and that's 5 cities, 5 countries in 5 years. So that's my 5-5-5 goal. So right now we're in Atlanta. We hope to be, I believe it's in Atlanta, New York, California, Miami, Florida, Miami, and Chicago. So those are the 5 cities that I really want to be in. And then we have the 5 countries that we want to be in. Believe it or not, South Africa has been giving us a lot of love. Kenya has been giving us a lot of love. Nigeria has been giving us a lot of love, the UK and Canada. So these are places that we want to be in. And the way that we plan on doing this is creating hubs in these places where we can partner with other creative agencies and other photographers and things of that nature. So models in these areas can go to build their portfolio and to become real models and to get the experience. Because right now what we're doing is training the models. We have an app program that we do. And right now we have 50 models on this program, and we are going to be opening, 50 models. And every month we host 2 shoots in our home in Alpharetta, home studio in Alpharetta. So we have 2 photo shoot sessions every month. They fly in from everywhere, and we take pictures of them. We build their portfolio. We train them on how to do their makeup, how to walk, how to pose, how to do different things, pose for cosmetic brands pose for editorial, pose for stock photos, things of that nature. And the other side of this is we use those photos to engage brands. So if you are a brand and you want to diversify your portfolio in marketing, and don't just wait for Pride. Like it really upsets me when brands only wait for Pride to feature LGBTQ people. Don't just wait for Pride. Use us. We're here. So like right now, I'm going through, like I said, I'm very transparent. I'm going through fertility treatments to be pregnant and to have a child. I'm not getting any younger. So this is why my voice sounds like this, because I just had surgery last week. So I want to build a family. But one thing I noticed is that a lot of the information, the pamphlets, all the things that I was seeing in the hospitals, I had a mammogram done not too long ago. None of it, none of it is geared towards any kind of masculine identified people, not the trans community, not studs, not the queer, none of it. Hardly Black women, to be honest. So those are the type of spaces that I want to be in. It's not really about just fashion modeling. People hear modeling and they think fashion and they go straight to that. That's not what I'm worried about. I'm worried about the everyday image that you see, the everyday things that when you open up a textbook, those are models in those textbooks. No one thinks about it, but those are models. So there are a lot of truck drivers that are studs, but when they go to school for CDL classes and they're looking at these books and pamphlets, they don't see themselves. So those are the places where I want to get into. So we're just trying to create buzz around that and tell a lot of brands like, it's time, diversify your portfolio. It's time.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. I told y'all. I told y'all. I told y'all. This is why I had to have her on the show. A
I love your
movement.
platform. Love this platform.
Thank you. Thank you. We love you. We love you. You touched on this. You're an author. She does many things. Like I told y'all gonna see the cape flying in the background. Man. So you're an author. Tell us about one of your most recent works, the Beautifully Handsome Women, Volume 2.
Yeah.
Tell us about what readers can expect when they get a copy of that book.
So it's actually a coffee table photography book. So it's
Ah,
turning page after page after page of photos. I'm actually working on my memoir right now, so y'all stay tuned on that. That will be a page turner for sure. So I'm working on that right now. But my book is so what makes me really proud about this book? I don't know if you guys can see it. This model, her name is Prince. She's my muse for almost 4 years straight. I love her. Her and her wife have a YouTube channel right now, so you guys go check her out. But it is literally page after page of photos. So what makes me really proud about this particular book is because I did everything. I did all the photos. I edited all the photos. I did the book myself on publishing on Adobe. I located a printer in China. I did everything from top to bottom. Like if you look at the back of the book, there's nobody's name but mine because listen, when you got to do it, you got to do it. So that's what makes me really, really proud about this book. Volume 1, when I did Volume 1, I had to use a service that I would just upload the digital copy and they would print the book for me and then they would ship it out. But I only made like maybe 50 cents to $1 for that book. And I was like, that's a lot of work that I've put in. So I had to go on back in the drawing board. I was like, okay, how do I create a book myself? It was a lot of back and forth. I had to, a lot of back and forth. And I ended up learning how to do it myself. And I did everything on my own. And and here we are. It's all sold out. The only hard copies I have left are I give them away for marketing products for the models that join my program.
Mm, mm, mm. Woo, woo. I am slacking. That's what I want to say. I am slacking. I
You
am
are
not doing enough.
not. No, no way. You are not. No way. I've seen your platform. I've done my research on you. You are doing a fantastic job.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm excited for you on your journey to pregnancy and
Thank
building
you.
out that family. I'm praying for you. We all are praying for you. We love you and we're going to stick with you for the long ride. I
Yeah, I'm
want
going to
to
be transparent about it, y'all. So check me out on TikTok. I'm going to talk about it, the whole entire process.
love it. Love it. Love it. If you had one nugget, one final nugget to leave with that young woman in the audience that is on the fence for several different things. She's in a society, she's in a world that doesn't look familiar to her, and for in some cases doesn't seem to love her on her. What piece of advice would you say to that young woman whose back is against the wall, who's fighting to stand up for what she believes in, and maybe even scared to come out? What would you say to her right now?
So there's one thing I had to learn. Actually, it's a constant learning lesson.
Sure.
Everything, when I say everything, everything is working in your favor.
Mm,
Everything. The world has this. There's a polar opposite to everything, right? So the things that you think are bad, that are happening to you, that are bad, are always preparing you. So as I tell my story and I speak to people, they hear my story and they're like, how do you wake up and smile? Like, we only have an hour today to talk about it, but my story is so deep. And I stand today and I smile because everything that I went through prepared me for this day. Don't be scared. Be yourself unapologetically. I know it's a scary world out here. A lot of people will judge you. A lot of people won't understand you. And a lot of people who judge you and don't understand you are because they don't understand themselves. So you have to give them grace and you have to give yourself grace. Simply because this world is learning just as much as you are. And if you can tap into you, tap into that God in you. God is not an external being. I try to tell people this all the time. When people, especially unfortunately, we have learned because of religion, we have learned that God is this external being that we need to reach out to. But we don't realize that God speaks to us internally. He's inside of us. He didn't make any mistakes when he created you, sweetheart. He did not make any mistakes. And he did not make any mistakes when you thought that you were down and out, when you thought that you were broke, when you thought that you couldn't do something. He didn't make any mistakes. All right. So tap into that God in you and silence yourself for a second. Listen to your intuition. Don't ignore the gut feeling in you. If the gut feeling in you is telling you that this is who you are, honor that person. Honor that person because you cannot live this world as someone else. That someone else is taken. You cannot be someone else. You can only be yourself. And you cannot live this world and be true to this world if you can't be true to you. So I just tell everyone, like, be you unapologetically. That's where your magic is. That's where your magic is. So yeah, if any woman is listening to this, men too, because I may not advocate for the man, but I advocate for masculinity because there's power in masculinity and we all have that duality of feminine and masculine energy. And the masculine energy comes when you need power. And the feminine energy comes when you need emotional strength and spiritual strength. We need both. Everybody has both. So when you feel like you are down and out spiritually, emotionally, tap into your masculine energy and gain strength. Move, get into the action piece. But when you feel like you are lacking into the action piece, tap into your spirituality and your emotions. You will always balance yourself out.
Mm, I don't know about you all. She was talking to me. She was talking to me. I took that, and I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna work harder, and I'm gonna come out fighting not only for myself and not only for those that I love, but for Dad. Right? I'm
For
gonna
Dad.
push and do better for our wives and you couldn't have said that any better. And I'm gonna leave that alone because you can't touch that. I cannot touch that. Miss Morcho, how can we connect with you? How can we learn more of you? How can we grow with you? You are a movement, and the train has left the station, but you're
Choo
not
choo.
done. You are not done. How can we connect and how can we learn more and grow with you?
Oh my God, I have such an amazing tribe. Really, my sister logged in. Hey, Erica, I love you. I have such an amazing tribe. Everywhere I go, I seem to um, listen. There's no individuality in this world. We need our tribe. We need our tribe. And if you want me to be your tribe, I will be your tribe. If you want to join my tribe, you can join my tribe. Teresa Morcho everywhere. If you go on Twitter, if you go on Facebook, if you go on Instagram, if you go on TikTok, you go on LinkedIn, wherever you go, Teresa Morcho is the brand and Teresa Morcho is the name. You can connect with me. I do my best. Unfortunately, my partner is probably going to be like, girl, get off your phone. But she understands that, I need to do this. And this is what motivates me to be there for people. I don't know what else to be. I'm my mother's child. We are there for people. We cook for our tribe. We nourish our tribe. We honor our tribe, and we're there. I don't know how to be any other way. So connect with me on Facebook, connect with me on TikTok, connect with me on Instagram, connect with me on Twitter, connect with me in person, connect with me everywhere. And if you want to follow Stud Model Project, it's up on the page as you see, Stud Model Project everywhere as well, except for Twitter. Twitter has this weird thing with short handles. So if you go on Twitter, I think it's Stud Model Pro. So you can definitely look us up there. Just look, interact with me. I love meeting new people. Invite me to your town, invite me to your school, invite me to your talking event, invite me to your panels. I love meeting you guys in person. I know it's COVID right now and we're doing our best, but I will do my best as well and do my part. I'm fully vaccinated. I hope you guys go out there and do the same. But I will do my best to keep myself safe and keep you guys safe. But I would love to meet you guys in person or on virtual events that you guys have as well.
Mm. Connect. Oh my God.
I'm a fool, so I'm trying to contain my tomfoolery.
Do not. I love it. The world is impacted by you. The world is changed by you every single day, and we are better because of you. So I want to say this to you publicly, Queen. Don't ever give up. Don't ever quit. We need you. We need you. We need what you're doing, and we are changed by you every single day. And you make us better. You make us better. You make the world better because you are here. You are necessary, and you're here for a reason.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate this platform. I had a lot of fun.
So did
Even
I.
with my raspy voice, right? I kind of think it sounds sexy. I might keep it.
Keep it. It's not the voice, it's the heart. It's the heart behind the voice. That's who we love.
Thanks. Marcus, you're amazing.
Thank you so much. I'm a reflection of you. And so we are
Absolutely.
all here for one another. I thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to be with us today. We appreciate you. Love you. And I'm definitely dialed up. I'm tuned in. I'm subscribing to all the channels, all the wherever I can find you. If I find, I'm gonna find that black space, MySpace space with all the glitter. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it. We gonna connect.
Listen, you don't want to do that. I was ratchet. Y'all don't understand. I was ratchet. There's still a little piece of me that's super ratchet, but I saved that for the household. Like my sister Erica knows. Listen. Ooh, child. And I do
Erica, we
want to
need you to
say
spill the
this.
tea.
No,
Spill
Erica,
the
don't
tea,
say nothing.
Erica.
You better hush up. I know where you live, girl. I know where you live. But I do want to say this too. I'm such a huge advocate for mental health, and I do want everybody that's listening, listen to me clearly, please, please, please. We have doctors for everything. We have doctors for every part of our body, from our head down to our toes. But there's one doctor that we seem to think is a taboo, and those are psychiatrists and therapists. Seek help. We are in a time right now that things are just unpredictable. People need our help. Regina King, my queen, I pray for you. I pray for you because there's so much going on right now. And this young lady just lost her son to suicide. And that is something that we in our Black community do not talk about enough, is bipolar, depression, all of these things that are happening. And we look at each other as if we're just going crazy. No, please seek help, talk to someone, reach out. Mental health is a thing, and depression is not just a word that we throw around. It's a medical condition. So please talk to a professional. I really want you guys to get this through your head. Please, 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 because we're losing way too many of our youth to suicide, and it can be prevented. So I just wanted to leave with that.
Oh, thank you. That needed to be said. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah,
That's necessary. Praying for everyone. We need each other. We can't do
absolutely.
this alone. We can't do
No,
this alone. We didn't come
no,
into this world alone, and we need each other, especially if we're going to survive into 2023 and the foreseeable future. So thank you for
yeah,
saying that. Like
absolutely. Thank you,
I gotta
Marcus.
let thank you so much. I gotta let the queen go. She got stuff to do. She got lives to impact. She got changes to make. So, like I always end every show, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. We love you and we support you. Like I end every show, take care of your friends, take care of your family, and always, always take care of business. This is Marcus Norman, your favorite gentleman, and Miss Teresa Morcho, changing the absolute game. We love y'all.